Pottery Barn is the queen of crafting a space that looks timeless and lived in and not too catalog-y like all the other designer brands do. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can take those Pottery Barn decorating secrets and apply them to your kitchen to make your kitchen look super expensive. Before we get into today's video, I'd love it if you smash that subscribe button, but let's get into it. We're gonna start today's video by talking about colors because that's something that people always get wrong when it comes to Pottery Barn, but they're actually open to lots of colors. So when you think Pottery Barn, you think neutrals, and of course, yes, neutrals are their hallmark, but they still have blacks, they have browns, they have colors. What I want you to do in your kitchen is stick to neutrals, but it's okay if you have black cabinets or you have wooden cabinets or something like that. I want you to stick to neutrals, so creams, whites, beiges, and stuff like that. And then I want you to have one accent color. So if it's gonna be green, it's gonna be green. If it's gonna be blue, it's gonna be blue. If it's gonna be pink, it can be pink. But I want you to choose one bold accent color and then otherwise stick to neutrals. They have all black kitchens, all gray kitchens, all white kitchens, all brown kitchens, and then we have one accent color. So that's how I want you to play with colors. I literally want you to do the 60-30-10 rule, 60% the neutrals, 30% the browns, the blacks, whatever color your kitchen already is, because it is what it is. And then we're gonna do the 10% our accent color. This is going to make your space look layered, sophisticated. It's not gonna feel all one note, and it's gonna give you that Pottery Barn look. The next thing I want you to do in your kitchen is I want you to introduce some wicker. Even if you're not like farmhouse, maybe you're not traditional, maybe you're not even transitional, but you like the coastal element of Pottery Barn, I still want you to add the wicker. Even if your kitchen looks like mine, I want you to add the wicker. You hear me? I'm yelling at you. Add the wicker. It doesn't have to be like an ugly brown, like red wicker. It can be a washed one. It can be a seagrass that looks like wicker, but I want you to have that element. It just adds a little bit of earthiness that's different from what you always see. Now, along with that, I want you to have the wicker, but I also want you to have wooden elements. I know we see this everywhere, but we've seen it everywhere because it works. I want you to not only have the wicker, and I want you to do like a wicker tray. I want you to take a departure from the gold tray, from the silver tray, from the mirrored tray. Please, let's get rid of the mirrored tray. And I want you to do a wicker tray. It can be round, it can be square, you can be rectangular, it can be whatever works for your styling because we want to keep things functional at the end of the day. But I want you to do the wicker, and then I want you to have some wooden pedestals, some wooden trays. I want you to layer the wooden trays on your backsplash somewhere where it makes sense and get food safe wooden trays. Now, the one I'm using, it's not food safe because it's vintage. I already have it, and I don't need to buy new things for every video, okay? Okay, I'm telling myself that too. But do your best to get wooden trays that are actually food safe so that you can use them. You don't need decorative wood trays and then different trays that you use to actually cut stuff. They should be one and the same. The Pottery Barn kitchen, this is what makes it look expensive. This is what makes it feel expensive. This is what makes it so popular, is that their ideas are practical. They're functional. They are livable. And that's what we want our homes to be like. So we're gonna have the wooden pedestals. Maybe we'll put some candles on there. Maybe we'll put some fruit on there. Maybe we'll put our garlic on there, or whatever you like to have in your kitchen. Maybe put your Splenda on there, I don't care. Then we're also gonna have wooden cutting boards that, again, are food safe so that we can cut our food on them. And let's talk about what wood tones we're doing. We're doing the light oaks. We're doing the brown woods like this. We're doing the colors kind of like we see back there. We're not doing super cherry reds. I don't even care if you have cherry red cabinets. We're not doing super cherry red. We want it to be as light and as weathered and as cool toned, honestly, as we can get. I'll put up a few examples of what I mean because it's easier to learn by seeing, not just by listening, but we want to pile those on. I want to see them not only in your decorative accents, but in your functional items. So maybe you have the cutting boards. Maybe you have a coffee cup that has like a wooden element. Maybe you have wooden utensils. We want them to be the same wood tone as everything else. And that brings me to my next point. Something that I love about the Pottery Barn style, as I just said, is that it is livable, it is functional, and everything has a use. So we're going to tie even the most minute details into our design style. So those wooden utensils, they're gonna be the same wood tone. They're gonna be the wood tone that makes sense for this style. Your salt and pepper shakers, they're gonna be the metallic or the wood that we're using in this space. Everything is going to fit. The only thing that doesn't need to fit is your cookware, because I don't believe in buying cookware just because it's pretty. I want you to buy cookware that is safe for your family, that actually works for you and that you can maintain. Please don't go all out and buy stainless steel just because it looks good. Is it better for you? Yes, but if you don't know how to cook on it, you're just gonna be pulling your hair out and then you're gonna end up bald like I am, okay? And it's not for everybody, all right? All right. And along with all these other things that we have on a display, we want to display everything essentials. You don't have to take every single pot and pan and everything and tuck it away. I used to hide my appliances, I'd hide this, I'd hide that. If you have a stack of plates that your family goes through each and every day, it's so much easier to leave them on the countertop, leave them on the countertop. Don't put away your coffee machine, lean into your coffee bar. Make it a hallmark of your styling. Lean into the things that you use every day. Utility comes first. Utility is what makes this design so beautiful, and it's what makes people want it. That's why people can imagine themselves when they're in the showroom. That's why they can imagine themselves in these spaces when they're looking at the catalogs, because they're livable. So make your space livable as well. That also means over time, maybe slowly transitioning out pieces that we have so that they make sense with our design style, or buying little gadgets like the peel and stick paper towel holder that holds your paper towels on the inside of your cabinet door. It's what, $7, $8. It lasts for the entire time you live in the house. You can hide your paper towels and you never have to worry about your paper towels looking beautiful, because honestly, that's just like a waste of time. It's something that you're going to take too much of a mental load, and you just don't need to do that. But what are some other things we're going to display in this design style? Well, they display a lot of things. They have a lot of open shelves. Kiva's not going to recommend an open shelf. Open shelves require too much dusting. They're not practical for most people, and you get grease all over them. You're going to spend more time cleaning them than you are going to spend looking at them. They're just not worth it. So I don't want you to emulate that. But again, this is for a catalog, what they're doing, not real life. But what are you going to steal from that catalog? Well, we're going to start displaying things like fruit, things that we use to eat, because it is the kitchen. Did you know? Well, of course you know, but did you know that there's some fruits and vegetables that are not meant to be in the fridge? There's some things that should be hidden down below. There's some things that should sit on the counter. You should embrace that. You should celebrate that. You should also make sure that the things you're using to hold them are food safe, though, because that's something I see a lot of people get wrong. They'll just go to the decor section of home goods and pick up a bowl. The bowl is not food safe, and it is touching something that you're putting in your mouth that you probably aren't washing before you're putting in your mouth. So just some food for thought there. Oh, brother. But we want to decorate with things like pears, artichokes, garlic, things like that. We can artfully position them. We can leave them out on display. But are we buying fruits and vegetables that we do not need, that we don't actually like to do this? No, we're not. We're going to only do things that make sense. Now, this next one kind of feels like a contradiction here, but I'm going to make an argument for why I think we need to do it. Overflowing greenery. We're going to put that on the tray. And we're only going to do it in one spot. We're going to do the fruits and veg everywhere else. And the only type of like real plant flower thing we're going to have is going to be like on our island or in a part of the countertop where we're just like never cutting things. Again, livable. This, we're going to go dramatic. We're going to do fig stems. We're going to do maple. We're going to do something overflowing and large and making a statement. It could be a huge thing of hydrangeas even. It can be a flower, because some people are partial to flowers, some people are partial to plants. Let me know down in the comments which is your preference when it comes to decorating. But we're going to have one overflowing item. Personally, I'm going to say go with something faux, because it's easier to maintain. If you're good at flowers, if you're good at keeping flowers and plants alive, please do that. Get something out of your garden. It can celebrate how you're able to sustain life outside and sustain it inside. I think that's a really beautiful thing. I don't have a garden, okay? And buying new plants at Trader Joe's and weathering the anxiety over Trader Joe's, too much for me. So I buy the faux ones and they last me for years and years and years and years and years, okay? But something grand, something that makes a statement. And I don't just want the flowers to make a statement, I want the vessel to make a statement too. The vessel is important. Don't get these beautiful faux flowers and then put them in like a shabby little clear vase. No, I want it to be rustic. I want it to be organic. I want it to be aged. I want it to bring in those neutrals that we talked about, because I just told you how we're gonna break down the colors. If the vase isn't one of those colors and it doesn't scream transitional or modern or organic, it does not go. So in my case, I'm not gonna bring a big black vase into my already black kitchen trying to accomplish this style. No, this is when I'm gonna go cream. I'm gonna go sage green. Maybe I'll even go blue, whatever my accent color is. I might even go like a weathered gray, but I'm not gonna do more black, and I'm also not gonna do white because it's too stark. We want something that's a little bit less stark, something that eases you more into the design, because it's more relaxed and we have to choose colors that aren't so jarring. And white, even though it's a beautiful color, can sometimes be just as jarring as black. And again, when we're filling this vase, we don't want something simple. We don't want the little sprig and you're like, oh my God, look at this little single stem. That's not the style for that. That's the MCM, that's the modern vintage. That's not here. This is drama. I wanted to give Bridge to Terabithia. I wanted to give Secret Garden. I want it to be over the top. If it's not over the top, you haven't done it enough. And if you want an entire video on how to arrange faux florals, let me know down in the comments, because I'll make it for you. Am I really the authority on that? No, but I'll put myself out there. I'll take some courses to make sure that you know how to do something that is actually, I would say, pretty hard to do. Now, let's talk about counter stools. This is going to be the last thing that you fix, because it's the most expensive piece of advice I'm giving in today's video. And we want to work from least to most expensive because we have other places to put our money. You have bills, you have kids, you have family members, you have self-care. This can be last, unless this is your form of self-care, in which case, then it's first, okay? But these counter stools are never going to be upholstered in this design style. I know, maybe the cushion is so that your buttock doesn't hurt, but the back is always going to be wooden. It's going to be wooden. It's going to be the same wood tone we've already been talking about, okay? So I don't need to reiterate myself. It's going to be wooden, or it's gonna be leather. Chances are it's gonna be leather and wooden, but it's always gonna be wooden, okay? So we're not gonna do the upholstered look. This is not the time for fabric. I'm gonna tell you when fabric and textile comes in. It's not yet, we're not there yet, okay? Wood is the move, because if we have an all white kitchen, there are only so many cutting boards that make sense. This is a way to add that a little bit of earthiness. Now let's talk about textiles, because I just mentioned it. Where we're gonna add textiles is with our tea towels. Tea towels are important. They tell a story. They present the opportunity to have a little bit of glitz, a little bit of glamour, a little bit of pattern, a little bit of print, a little bit of home. We're gonna do that. If you wanna add a little curtain to your kitchen window, do that. Do the cafe curtain with the linen and the texture and the movement that aligns with all those colors that we already talked about. I'll tell you how to deal with the metals soon, so be sure to keep on watching, subscribe, and like this video if you're liking it, so I know that you like content like this. You can even add like a little curtain underneath your sink if you have like an open area, or to your dishwasher if you want to romanticize your everyday life, because I think romanticizing life is a good thing. But we want to have some fabrics, and we want them to be soft, we want them to be patterned, and if they are patterned, we don't want it to be overwhelming. This is not where we're gonna go tartan plaid, okay? Love plaid, this is not the time. This is linen, this is floral, this is faded, this is organic, and that's it. You just want it to breathe life into the space in a very, very dainty way. Think of it as the ascot of an outfit for your kitchen. And you're probably thinking, well, I'm not Fred from Scooby-Doo, I don't know what that means. So then move past the analogy and just take the advice. Now let's talk about another textile that we're gonna add to the kitchen and how to do it in a Pottery Barn inspired way. So we're gonna do something very similar. Either we're going to do very simple, it's gonna be light, it's gonna be patterned, it's gonna be faded. Think like a faded oriental rug. That's kind of what we're doing. Maybe it might have hints of blues and greens, but it's still faded. You're never gonna really be able to make out the pattern. Or you're going to do a jute rug, and a lighter jute rug, either one that looks like that wood tone we've already talked about. If you haven't picked up on the wood tone thing, go ahead and subscribe, okay? Do me that honor of subscribing, because I've had to tell you so many times, all right? It's the least you could do. Or we're gonna do something light and airy. Now, what I will say with jute, even though that's like the hallmark of their thing, I hate the way it feels on my feet. It makes me feel like I'm just getting splinters over and over again. I would only use jute outside, but that's what they do. If you don't care about your feet, or maybe you're a slipper wearer, or maybe you wear shoes in your house, which I don't like, okay, but it's your house, so I'm gonna respect you, all right? Because all ideas are welcome here on the channel. Then you can do the jute. I say go more faded oriental. I've put a bunch of options down in the description box and up on screen for you to shop in case you can't find them but you like the idea. And we're just gonna do a nice runner. We're gonna do a runner, and we're not gonna do a short runner. There are many different sizes of runners. There's 2x6, 2x8. We wanted to really take up a majority of that walking space so that we can have that layered element. If I can't see it on either side of your island, it is not long enough, because then I'm gonna miss it unless I'm actually directly in the kitchen. And we wanna be able to step back from the kitchen and have the entire kitchen articulate the style, not just one little portion. Now, this is not super functional. So this is one departure from kind of like their functionality that they really push in their design, but you're gonna lay your artwork in your kitchen as well. I love artwork in the kitchen. I think it's cute. If you don't want to lay it on your countertops, you can lay it on your shelves if you have shelves. I also like to use like a picture frame and add magnets on the back. I do this from Dollar Tree, and you can put art on your refrigerator or on your dishwasher. It's a great way to get a little bit of art without it taking up precious space if, countertop space is limited. But putting art on your backsplash, either using command trips to attach it directly to the backsplash or leaning it very, 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 very much so. Pottery Barn, you tend to see still lifes of fruit. So you have fruit and then you have a still life of fruit and you're like, okay, this is a kitchen. It's very literal, and I think literal design isn't always a bad thing. I think in this case it's very good because you know what you're here for and it's very, very clear. And if you're doing a renovation, of course, I want to give you some tips. The type of tile we're using, we're going to use organic tile. We're going to use handmade tiles, liege tile even. We want texture. We're not doing black grout though, okay? No, never, 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 never. But we are doing the creams. You can even do the sage green. You can do pink tile. I don't care what color tile you do, but we want it to be hand formed. We want to see imperfections in them, and we want it to almost be a little bit glossy so that you get a different experience no matter what perspective you're looking at. And in terms of like the countertops, you're normally going to see like a waterfall island. You're going to see the backsplash up the back, or like a classic subway tile. It is what it is. I think you should keep what you already have. It's too much of a pain and it's far too expensive to get new countertops, and that's just my professional opinion. Something else we're going to do is we're going to style our storage. So we're going to have cute storage containers, not the OXO ones, though I do love those. And if you want a kitchen or a pantry organization video that just looks so good, it's like organization porn, click here to go check it out. I made it and I'm pretty proud of it. But we're gonna do really cute containers. So we're gonna have canisters on display. We're gonna see our coffee beans. We're gonna see this, we're gonna see that. You don't need to do it for absolutely everything you own. That's what cabinets are for. But we do want a little ode to that. So again, we're gonna take away little things like rocking horses and we're gonna put coffee beans. We're gonna do really, really functional decor. We're gonna make it pretty, but everything is gonna make sense for the kitchen, if that makes sense. And if you have wall space, maybe you don't have a proper backsplash, you just have a large kitchen, you can also hang your cookware. So you can hang your pots and pans, you can hang your utensils, you can do like a nice picture rail. People really love that in that design style, and it can look really, really cute. I don't have space for it, but it's a design tip I wanted to share with you, even though I can't apply it. This is also a situation where you'd see like a shaker cabinet or something like that, but again, don't switch out your cabinets. Just achieve a design style that you like right now. There are a lot simpler ways to achieve this, which I've already covered in today's video, that I think are going to achieve that look with much less effort and a lot less money. And now let's talk about metals. So this is when we want to mix metals. We don't want to go all gold. We don't want to go all silver. We want to mix metals. And I'll put a chart up on the screen showing you how to successfully mix metals. This is what I share with all of my clients. And if you want my design help, my audit and my design are linked down below, and I would love to help you with your space. But mixing metals is an art form. You have to think about the undertones, but mixing metals is going to help the space feel lived in, and it's not going to help the space feel so repetitive. These spaces don't feel super repetitive. They practice a lot of asymmetrical balance, and we're going to help accomplish that by mixing the different metals. So don't be afraid of having multiple tones in your space. It's probably a good thing. Now this one is a last but not least, and you don't have to do this, but I think this is also selling like the lived in element, and it's going to help you with all of the other things I kind of told you. But we can do like a little herb gardening. We can use our herbs as part of the decor, as I've already said, but this is a great way to make cooking more fun, to show the fruits of your labor. Having that in your kitchen, that is a little element that I see a lot in Pottery Barn spaces, and you don't have to get like an arrow garden to be able to do this. You can just get like a little thing from the grocery store and put it on the windowsill and kind of see what comes to life and put it in a nice organic planter. But that's it for today's video. I hope I was able to prove to you that you don't need a full remodel to get the Pottery Barn look, and you can achieve this look from absolutely any store. You just have to follow the tips that I outlined in today's video. But what tip from today's video has you wanting to redo your space? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know if you have any other questions about this style. If you want to shop any of the products I use to accomplish the Pottery Barn look in my own space, I've linked them all down below, and they're all super affordable. Some of them are from Pottery Barn, but most are from Amazon and Walmart and other really, really affordable places. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you need help achieving any other design style and you want me to make a video about it, leave it down in the comments. And again, if you want my design services, I've linked them down below. I love working with you guys. It is the highlight of my entire career, and I'd love to work with you on your space. But until next time, have a beautiful day.